have silence for Charlotte Christian Senior.
We welcome you to Charlotte Christian High School, Independence and Charlotte Christian. It's the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Along with Reginald Walker Jr., I'm Phil Constantino. A couple of unbeaten teams on this young season coming up in just a moment here in the Queen City.
We thank you for all the community here tonight. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
There's a reason why Independence versus Charlotte Christian is the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Independence 2-0, Charlotte Christian 1-0. Had a win in week one. They dominated Cox Mill. And then last week, weather forced a cancellation. So a couple of unbeaten teams, a couple of teams ranked in the top 6 of the Charlotte Observer's rankings. With Reginald Walker Jr., I'm Phil Constantino. Independence, the Patriots Reg, they look really good so far.
Yeah, they do, and it's led by that young man, number 7, Justin Little, at the quarterback position. He can make every single throw you're looking for. He can make all the right decisions at the line of scrimmage. What you love the most is he can go to his coach and say, hey, coach, I don't like that. I didn't like that, so I checked out to something else.
One of 14 returning starters from this team last year that Independence has. They were a semifinalist in the state tournament, and they are hoping to get there and even further this year. Independence will kick off. Charlotte Christian won the toss, and they will receive. So we'll see very quickly. Owen Farrell, quarterback at the other end. Kickoff man for Independence is Lyric Copera, one of the best kickers in the area. And he kicks this one shy of the end zone, and it is being returned in a big hole for Henry Hulbert. And he has the left sideline over midfield, and eventually popped out of bounds by the kicker, Copera. So for the first time this season in 12 attempts, Copera doesn't put the kickoff in the end zone, and Independence allows a big return.
Yeah, great job by Hulbert. Just gets north and south, doesn't try to be overly creative, sees a crease and absolutely hits it to bring that offense out in excellent field position. And that trigger man right there, Owen Farrell, I'm telling you, Phil, this kid is absolutely electric if he gets in the open field, in the space. Obviously playing the quarterback position, but a very, very athletic player that can be dynamic in big situations.
6 feet tall, 182 pounds, a senior and a second-year starter, starts in the shotgun. With trips out to the right side, 1st and 10. They're at the 45-yard line of Independence. He comes out in their 4-3 defense. Farrell, a veteran who has been in the Charlotte Christian program since 7th grade. First down play, a handoff right side. Jamal Rule tripped up, but after a big chunk knocked off, a gain of 6 on first down.
That's going to be something interesting to watch in this football game. If they're going to try to get Jamal Rule on the edge, this is not the biggest defense in terms of Independence, but they've got a lot of speed. They flow fast to the football. 2 things they got to be careful of. You can't miss tackles, and you can't over-pursue.
Farrell on 2nd down, sticks it in the gut of Rule again, who lowers the shoulder and powers his way to the 31-yard line. That'll move the chains for a first down.
We're going to see a heavy dose of Rule. This is a kid transferred from Salisbury, 2,700 yards last season in high school football, which is absolutely absurd. He's going to get a heavy dose tonight.
We highlighted the quarterbacks at the top. We could also do that same comparison for the running backs in this game. Rule, and at the other end for Independence, Jaden Jones. Here's a little jet sweep, and Tate Estep round to the left side is stood up, spun down, and what looked like might be a big gain all of a sudden is nothing. Here's another look at that return from earlier.
Yeah, the return was excellent and put this offense in great field position. Now defensively, if you're Independence, can you find a way to make a stand? That's a good start there on first down. Cameron Martin with that stop.
No gain on the play, second down and 10 at the 31-yard line of Independence. Sticks it in the gut, now he's throwing, and Farrell overshoots his intended receiver.
Owen's first pass of the game is incomplete.
He was looking for LJ Porter.
Yeah, Porter on a little seam route down the middle. He was open, just sailed that throw a little bit. I think if you get that football down, you're able to complete it to Porter, and then it's him one-on-one with the safety. If he can make a move, that's a walk-in touchdown.
So third down and 10. Farrell has Jamal Rule standing next to him in the backfield. Walks up to the line to call out the play. He's going to throw. Short, left side. Nice throw, nice catch. Each step, strong hands. Got the foot down in bounds. He's at the 22. He's a yard short of the line of game.
Yeah, this is well done by Estep. Understood where he was on the field. Great throw there by Farrell as well. Put that ball in the perfect spot. Nice throw and catch to get near that first down marker. Now fourth and short. I think it's pretty clear you're going to see 23 with the football.
This would be close to a 40-yard attempt. They're going to go for it on 4th and 1. Here is a handoff for Rule. Little shimmy shake. He's hit at the line. It will depend on the spot. And the linesman on the far side says first down. He got to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Rule's about 190 pounds. He used every bit of it there, physical. I like this kid. He's a throwback. No gloves, no wrist tape, nothing. Just give me the football in my bare hands, and I'm going to run the rock.
Charlotte Christian plays a little bit of that backyard football. That was the sense we got in our phone call this week with head coach Chris James. Rule, the epitome of it. So is this guy, Farrell. Trying around the left side after faking it to Rule, and he gains a couple. Steps out of bounds on his own at the 16-yard line. Charlotte Christian taking advantage of the good field position to start, and they're in the red zone.
Yeah, that's a nice run. A good patient run by Farrell at the quarterback position. There was not a lot there. He found a way to get a couple of yards. A good job by this Independence defense stringing that thing out, forcing him all the way to the sideline to minimize that gain.
First drive of the game. Farrell in a pistol here with 4 wide receivers to the right side. Now he motions Rule out that way. Swing pass, flag flies. Rule has the edge, lowers the shoulder and out of bounds at the 10. Officially marked out at the 9-yard line. Will be a first down as we await the penalty call.
Yeah, Trey Garnes, the corner on that side, number 3, got held coming up the field. That's going to be the holding call right there.
Holding is the indication from referee Jason Miller.
Christian will get pushed back.
Again, you'll see it. They just swing it out there to the right. Good decision. I like the play call. You got 3 receivers out there. Couldn't tell quite who it was. I think they might have gotten Vincent Rosen number 1 for the hold, but somebody grabbed a hold of Trey Garnes there, and that's the penalty.
Interesting formation, 4 receivers to one side and making no bones about it, throwing right behind it to the running back.
It's numbers. You count the numbers. Once the back goes out that way, now you've got a numbers advantage. Everybody wins their block. The running back's running free. This
is an offense that'll run a lot of 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. Here we see some of it, and it's a quarterback keeper for Farrell diving down to the 18-yard line.
And this is where they can give you a lot of problems because now you're truly playing 11 on 11. When he starts running around with the football, he's as good as he is, somebody is going to miss most times, and now you're in a situation where you're 11 on 10. Good luck with that one.
Another third down here for Charlotte Christian. They're 0 for 1 on third down earlier this drive. They converted a 4th and 1 to keep it alive. This is 3rd and 8. They need the 10-yard line of Independence. Play action pass. Farrell steps up, has a wide open receiver. It's Brandon Hetwer, the tight end, pushing for the pylon, and he's in for a touchdown. From 18 yards out, and Charlotte Christian punches it in on the first drive of the game.
This is well done by Farrell, the quarterback. Looks down the field, understands that he's got his tight end underneath, just checks that ball down, and then you see the physicality at the goal line to get 6.
There was some wrestling match on the goal line with linebacker Dallas Brannon. And now Elijah Boyth, a freshman soccer player who was unavailable due to his soccer duties the first couple of weeks of the season, will attempt his first high school football kick. And it'll be a little bit longer. False start on Charlotte Christian before the snap. Illegal procedure officially.
Kickers love extra distance. They're fine. They like to show off the leg a little bit.
Even when you're 14, 15 years old?
Why not? Hey, college coaches, watch this.
Independence playing games up front. Kick comes out low, but it is good. And so Charlotte Christian, with 8:54 to go in the first quarter, has a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, again, back to the touchdown. Just a great job by Farrell, understanding the coverage, sees everybody flying deep, just checks it underneath. It's all about taking what they give you. If you maximize what they give you, you've got a chance. And again, the other thing you like about this, if you're Charlotte Christian and Coach Chris James, took some time off that clock, over 3 minutes on that drive. That's what you want to do against this high-flying Independence football team that wants to get a lot of big shot plays, a lot of explosives. Minimize that, shrink the game a little bit, run the football, chew up some clock.
Charlotte Christian enters this game actually ranked one spot ahead of Independence in the Observer's Sweet 16. Charlotte Christian number 5, Independence number 6. The Patriots have slipped a couple of spots despite starting the year 2-0. Charlotte Christian had a victory over Cox Mill in week 1, 49-7, a running clock type of victory in the second half. And then due to a monsoon that came through the Queen City last Friday night, they had a game against South Point canceled. So we have not seen Charlotte Christian yet this year against like competition, if you will. Cox Mill, a team they were heavily favored against. And so one drive, pretty good sign for them. Sadat Grant, Jaden Jones, the returners for Independence. Instead, it is taken short by an up-back Brian Crowder, one of their starting receivers, and he brings it to the 44-yard line officially, and that's where Independence will take the football for the first time.
Yeah, Crowder's another one of those guys, dangerous. He's the cousin of former Duke star Jamison Crowder, so you know the lineage there. You can talk about lineage at Independence all you want about football, but another direct connection there to somebody who's done it at a high level.
Justin Little leads this offense out. An offense that last year averaged 38 points per game, and so far this season, averaging about 400 yards per game. These are two high-flying offenses. On paper, you would expect this to be an up-and-down, high-scoring game. And so let's see what Independence has in its first drive. Jaden Jones is the running back in the backfield next to Justin Little. And a flag flies. Play clock was at 0. Just ticked to 0 right at the snap.
And big play clocks here in this stadium at both ends. Not hard to see. Little's a veteran quarterback. He's got to do a better job there, recognizing that and not giving away yardage.
Number 7 in white is a player who last season passed for more than 2,700 yards, 29 TDs, 9 more of them on the ground, picking up where he left off last season, and maybe even better than that per his head coach, DJ McFadden. First down, it's a handoff for Jaden Jones, using his strong legs to stay on his feet and get back to the original line of scrimmage.
If you like running backs, this is the game for you. We already talked about Rule. Jaden Jones, as advertised as well, has got plenty of speed, great vision, and if he gets out in the open space, you can absolutely forget it. Put new lights on the scoreboard.
That's a 5-yard gain to get it back to the 44-yard line. Trips to the right, tight end to the left. 2nd and 10 for Justin Little. Clean pocket all kinds of time. Steps up, now will tuck it and run. He can do this too. And he goes down near the first down marker into Charlotte Christian territory.
The thing about that run is the patience of Little. He didn't panic. There was nothing there downfield. Started to step up in the pocket, felt the rush, and then he took off, got positive yards for his team to set up a 3rd and short.
3rd down and 1, just over midfield. Charlotte Christian showing pressure. They come off the end. They don't get to Little. Snaps it off to Crowder right side. And that is a short little gain, but enough to move the sticks.
It's decision making, right? It was a 2-level route. They had one receiver working further up the field, deeper, and then you just get Crowder going to the outside. Quick 1st down throw there to pick up the necessary yardage.
LJ Porter came through the safety completely untouched and somehow couldn't get to Justin Little. He was wide open, Reg.
Little's pocket presence, you'll see throughout this game, is really, really good. He understands how to slide and move. His feel in that pocket for not that big of a guy is really, really good.
3rd year in the system at Independence High School with Coach DJ McFadden. 1st and 10, designed run, and he swallowed up after a gain of a couple.
And he and McFadden have a really, really good, strong relationship. Everything's clear with those guys. They can be very, very honest with each other. Justin can check into something else, and DJ will ask him when he comes off, why did you check? He'll say, I didn't like this, so I went to this. They have a great relationship with that.
McFadden calls the plays. He's the 4th-year head coach. And Little really has a lot of autonomy for what you would traditionally see from a high school quarterback. He's making checks at the line occasionally. Takes the snap here, clean pocket. Steps up, he'll run it again. And tries to put a little shimmy shake in a stiff arm past a defender. Makes it to the 30-yard line. That moves the chains for another Independence 1st down. 2nd of this opening drive.
I like this defensive game plan by Charlotte Christian. They are forcing Little to be a runner. They're not going to let him stand back there and play against man coverage and take shots all over the place. They're keeping everything in front of them, trying to minimize the passing game and seeing if he's willing to be patient enough with his feet.
6.5 to go in the 1st quarter. 1st and 10 for Independence. Well into Charlotte Christian territory. Justin Little hands this off. Jaden Jones keeps it in bounds, and that's a gain of about 8 to bring up 2nd down and 2. Great balance from Jaden Jones.
Yeah, this kid, I'm telling you, is absolutely special. Has an ability to glide at times, but you can see the explosiveness when he, as you say, cranks up the car. He can absolutely pick him up and put him down. Super talented kid, very soft-spoken, kind of shy, but he can run that football.
5'10", 180 pounds, the junior. Again, transferred in from Salisbury High School. About an hour up the road. Second down and 3. And they hand it off to him again, cuts it back, and he's racing it into the end zone for a touchdown. From 23 yards out, he went right, he went left, and eventually finds the end zone.
Remember when I said this kid has great vision? Watch this. Working to the right, then goes back left, and then another hard cut to the left, and then gets up field north and south. That is a spectacular run by the junior, and you see his coach, and his coach is brimming with excitement for the young guy, but an absolutely spectacular run there by Jones.
And I should say that was Rule on the other side from Salisbury. Jones has been a starter in this Independence system. Last year had a great season. This year he's off to a great start. Extra point is good from Lyric Copera. He is perfect, 10 for 10 on PATs this year. And we are tied at 7. A little over 6 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Independence and Charlotte Christian. It's the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. pair of touchdowns on the opening drives. Independence goes down first. Pitch and catch from Owen Farrell to Brandon Hetwer. And then Charlotte Christian first, then Independence comes down, and a 23-yard touchdown run from Jaden Jones. So we are all knotted at 7 in this matchup of two unbeaten teams here in week number 3 of the high school football season with Reginald Walker Jr., our entire crew, producer Brady Pugh. I'm Phil Constantino. Henry Hurlbert takes it out, and Hurlbert doesn't nearly get as far as his last return, only to about the 15-yard line. Last time he took it out over midfield. And so Charlotte Christian will start offensively on drive number 2, deep in their own end.
One thing we can expect is much more of Jamal Rule. You see these two running backs. We've documented them both. A little bit different path to where we are now. Jaden Jones sort of grew up in the Independence program. Jamal Rule, the transfer from Salisbury. Two guys that absolutely are electric with the football in their hands, running the rock. It'll be fun to watch those guys throughout the rest of the night.
Reg, that's a couple of guys averaging over 150 yards rushing per game so far this season, as Rule is cut down just in front of the line of scrimmage, gains a couple.
You're talking about a kid in Rule who ran for over 2,700 yards last year. On the flip side of things, Jaden Jones, 10 100-plus yard games last year. You talk about guys that are absolutely productive. There is no other way to solidify production than 2,000 yards or 10 100-yard games.
Clap of the hands, the snap, sticks it in the gut of Rule, takes it out late and throws it incomplete. That is great coverage by Landon Carr and Gavin Gibson. Gibson had the deflection, the cornerback, the junior for Independence.
Yeah, that's a great job by Gibson, playing that properly, good technique, gets that front hand inside and across to knock that football away.
To bring up 3rd down and long. As you mentioned, maybe trying to bleed the clock, Charlotte Christian. They are content to use a large portion of the play clock every time. Snaps it at 8 seconds. Looking down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Just over the outstretched arms of Elliott Newcomb, and the coverage once again from Gavin Gibson.
Yeah, they're testing Gavin Gibson a little bit, but he answered the call there. And as it relates to Elliott Newcomb, Phil, check this out. He's also the backup quarterback, but one catch this season, 78 yards and a touchdown. You better watch him looking to get deep.
He's also the long snapper, and he's going to snap it back to the quarterback, who is also the punter, Owen Farrell.
Who also is explosive as a kick and or punt returner as well.
He has done that in his past. 4th and 7 here. 5:19 to go in the first quarter, and Charlotte Christian will take a timeout. This might be a little bit simplistic, but if you look at sheer roster size and school enrollment size, Charlotte Christian's roster is smaller. I think, though, the feeling we got down on the field, Independence has some athletes and are very deep and athletic with several potential big-time Division I players on their roster once they make it to the college ranks. And so this is a game that we kind of expect Charlotte Christian to try and bleed the clock down a little bit and take as much of the game away from those Independence athletes. And the way Independence has played this year, they very quickly could pour it on.
Well, it's not only the athleticism, which you talked about, it's also the explosiveness of this Independence offense. They like to take deep shots with little as well down the field, and we saw Charlotte Christian sort of minimize that in the last possession.
Not a bad punt for the quarterback. Crowder, the return man, starts right. Now he's working back to the left. He has the 40-yard line in Charlotte Christian territory, and he's fighting the pile to the 35. So makes it all the way to the 34, and it'll be even better a starting position this time for Independence.
Yeah, it's a good job by Crowder working up the field, and then he sees a crease, some space out to the left, goes there. The only thing I would tell him there, when you turn left, get that football in the left hand, not keep it in the right hand. Take it away from the defenders and closer to the sideline just in case it gets knocked away.
So 1st and 10, drive number 2 for Independence.
I think DJ McFadden's probably going to look to take a shot here. He's going to look end zone early in this possession.
Little does have an arm to throw it deep. Charlotte Christian head coach told us, Chris James, they're going to hit their deep shots. We got to try and take them away from them. Across the middle, Crowder hits him in stride, and the ball is knocked out. Strong tackle from Henry Hulbert. He's had a great start to this ball game, and that forces the incompletion.
Yeah, I don't know that there are two guys that play the safety position as well together. Now, there may be more talent in other places, but Porter and Hulbert do an excellent job communicating back there, working with one another. And that's a great job, I should say, driving on that route and dislodging the football.
There's a flag on the play in the offensive backfield, and it is a holding call on Independence. So that'll bring up first down and 20. All the way back at the 44-yard line. Nearing the 5-minute mark of the opening quarter. Jones motioned out of the backfield. It's a screen to the left side, and it appeared to get blown up. Sadat Grant still fighting. Defensive player's helmet came off for Charlotte Christian.
Reverse screen.
This was just about math, right? You run the back out to the right side. You see the man coverage go. So then you're looking at numbers backside. The problem is there's a dude running around, number 11 in black, named L.J. Porter. He erases all of those things with his ability to fit through the wash and then go make a tackle.
Starting middle linebacker Cohen Gilcannon had his helmet come off. Little taking a shot on second down and long to the end zone. Leaping catch. It's a touchdown. Brian Crowder leapt up over two defenders. And it's a touchdown for Independence to take a 13-7 lead. There is a flag on the play. It's back near the line of scrimmage. And so take the touchdown off the board on what was a tremendous catch on a really good throw.
When he let that football go, I thought that ball was going to the outside. You'll see to the right of the screen, there's another receiver on the outside. I thought that football was going all the way to the outside. Instead, he went to Crowder up the seam. What a grab by Crowder. But again, to your point, it comes off the board because of a holding call.
There's some of that Independence athleticism. The second penalty on this drive for the Independence Patriots. 4:32 to go, first quarter, and it's second down and 28. Handoff, Jones has a small little seam, makes the most of it. Hulbert trying to twist him down by his leg and is able to do so after he gets all the way back to about the original line of scrimmage, just beyond the 35.
Anytime you got a second and super long like that and you can hand it to your back and get back to sort of normal distance, got to feel pretty good as a coach as you see one of the Independence offensive linemen down on the field.
Solomon Gatling.
Here's the player number 53, Solomon Gatling.
Holding his ankle. Now Gatling starts at left tackle today.
When play resumes, it'll be third down.
He is a
and 11. That was a gain of 13 on that carry.
Senior that head coach DJ McFadden feels will have a chance to play in college football. He's got a few of those up front. And we'll see if Gatling's able to stay in the game or not. Elijah Wilson, traditionally a starter on the offensive line, was hurt last week. Back to practice this week. He's dressed, he's available, but not starting. So you wonder if there's a way to slide number 63 in white into the rotation here. Yeah, they do. Sadiq Cabanis Ali, who's an all-conference left guard, shifts out to left tackle, and in at left guard is Elijah Wilson. Third down and 11 for Independence. Again, a touchdown on this drive waved off because of a holding call. Little getting chased and pulled down from behind. The 5th sack of the season for Jacob Simmons, the bandit off the edge for Charlotte Christian.
Jacob Simmons has been an absolute menace defensively, and now this is the 2nd game of the season. This is a young man that was all over the field last week, had 4 sacks last week. There's another one to his total.
He has the 4th most sacks in the state of North Carolina at the moment. And again, they only played 1 game, not 2, because of weather. He is an important piece to them defensively. And now 5 sacks, not halves. 5 sacks in a quarter into the 2nd game. 4th down and long. And Copera punts this high, tight spiral headed toward the coffin corner. And it goes out of bounds around the 10-yard line. Pretty good punt for Copera.
Oh, you kidding me? Angled that punt. The snap wasn't great. Had to go get the snap. Then he's able to get a good punt off and deads it down at the 10-yard line. That's well done.
First drive, both teams went right down the field and scored. Second drive, both teams stalled out. Last time for Charlotte Christian, it was a 3-and-out.
I think now kind of both teams know what the other team feels like in terms of the physicality at the line of scrimmage. Now you'll see both teams fully settle into this game.
It is 1st down and 10 at their own 10-yard line. And a handoff on 1st down that gains a couple for Jamal Rule, number 23.
Number 41, Samaj Robinson. Rule's game is across.
Again, this is an Independence defense. Again, not the biggest, but they flow fast. They are physical, and then they flow really, really fast to the football.
Ball is marked at the 14.
Inside of 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. And Charlotte Christian once again methodically to the line of scrimmage. Under center this time goes Owen Farrell. And he hands it off. Left side of the line for Rule, who maybe gains a yard. That's it to bring up 3rd down and about 6.
About 4 Patriot tacklers. The advance is a gain of 2, Brandon, across the 15.
It's a big 3rd down because field position's a factor here as well. Again, you don't want to end up giving the football back to this Independence offense in plus territory, so want to pick up a couple of 1st downs here at minimum.
3rd down and 4. Gave him a favorable spot. Motion man is Tate Estep. Farrell rolling out to the right and connects. Able to squeeze it back across the grain to Elliott Newcomb for a 1st down.
That's really good patience by Farrell. He's working to the right, and he's waiting and waiting and waiting, but he keeps his eyes down the field. Sees some color show up where he can make an easy throw. Makes that throw to Newcomb. 1st down.
Handoff for Rule. And he stumbles his way forward to the 30-yard line. Charlotte Christian offensively, they'll spread it out, Reggie, but in the end, they're really a power team. About 2/3 of the time in the opener against Cox Mill, they put it on the ground. They only ran 40 plays. The breakdown was 28-12, rush to pass.
Yeah, they like to run the football, but if you got a guy that ran for 2,700 yards,
I'd hand it off too.
I'm going to hand it to him as much as possible.
Absolutely.
There's a reason he can put up those kinds of numbers.
And that's what we're seeing a heavy dose of early. Jamal Rule.
I don't know if he'll get to the numbers that we once saw Derrick Henry, the all-time leading rusher, at least when he left to go to college in the state of Florida. One game he had 53 carries in high school.
The leading tackler, number 22, Malachi Asylum.
Final minute of this first quarter. And it's a 3rd down and short. 3rd down and 3. They need to make the 35-yard line in their own end. Farrell, little speed option. Now he keeps it, tries to circle back, And all he does is lose yards.
He got stuck in a tough spot there because they lose the pitch relationship right here. Now the pitch relationship is lost. So Rules just realizes, I'm just going to go try to block somebody, and everything got messed up. But again, that goes back to this Independence defense and their ability with their speed to string things out.
Drive number 2, 3 and out. Drive number 3, 1 first down and out. 4th down and 10. They don't have to snap the football here in the first quarter. Owen Farrell, the quarterback. Again, he's also the punter. So they have some command on the snap call here. And the veteran quarterback is already walking off the field. You see number 2 on the right side of your picture. And that will do it in quarter number 1. Well, this is the game of the week. Independence 2-0. Charlotte Christian 1-0. And through 1 quarter, tied 7-7. Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. We start the second quarter here at Charlotte Christian High School. Bahakel Sports Game of the Week with Reginald Walker Jr. I'm Phil Constantino. 4th down and 10 in their own end. Charlotte Christian to punt. Here's the quarterback and punter, Owen Farrell. And it's a low bouncer that takes a Charlotte Christian roll and will not quite go out of bounds. It'll stop dead just inside the 35-yard line. So this has been a much talked about matchup this week. There's a reason why we're here.
Yeah, it is. And one of the interesting things about this matchup is now we're finally starting to see more of these public school versus private school matchups in the Charlotte area. I think it's good for the area. I think it's good for the kids, the players. You see all the families that come out here, they bring the younger kids to the game. Maybe it keeps them engaged and wanting to be a part of the sport as well. Got to love the atmosphere when big games are available.
We talked to both head coaches on the field before the game, Chris James and DJ McFadden, who also shared a nice word with each other. And they brought this game together because they just want to play games locally that make sense. As Little, play action pass on first down. He's looking to uncork one deep down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. Put it just beyond the stride and the dive of Ricky Myers Jr.
Yeah, this is well done by Little. Does an excellent job sliding up in the pocket, puts that ball in a really good spot. Had his guy put a little bit too much on it, but you like the opportunity, you like to throw there. That's big time.
So, Reg, we went back in the record books, and as far as we could go back, because it was in history a little bit more difficult for private and public schools to play each other in the city, we have no record of Independence and Charlotte Christian ever playing each other. So this game really is big, and they're both good this year.
Well,
quick toss out to the left side.
And let's add to that, you mentioned both coaches, and we had a chance to talk to them both before the game. These are two coaches that are coaching at their alma maters, and they don't remember a time where these two teams played. So, to your point, Phil, there is no recollection truly of these two teams, these two schools, having a chance to match up.
About a 7-yard gain on that play to Brian Crowder. Actually, they moved the stick back a couple of yards, so it's only about a 4-yard gain where he went out to bring up 3rd down and 6.
I would not rule out a run here with Jaden Jones. They trust him even in third down situations like this.
Trips to the right side of the field for Justin Little. It is a handoff for Jones, and he slithers on the cutback and through for a first down. He has such great vision and strong balance in his lower half.
Yeah, and his ability to stop and cut is really, really good. He sees it, but he'll set up the cut, and when he makes that cut, it's a strong, violent one, and he picks up big yardage quickly with it.
We saw him down on the field earlier, too. He is chiseled. And he added about 8 to 10 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Little pressured as he throws. This one hangs up a bit. And incomplete, intended for Sadat Grant. Vincent Rosen had the coverage.
Yeah, that's excellent coverage by Rosen. Stride for stride in true bump and run coverage type of concept there. Makes an excellent play on the football and takes away an opportunity for a big shot.
Injured player being helped off the field for Charlotte Christian. Both sides have made their way to their respective sidelines. Aaron Boykin is the player being ushered off. Defensive lineman for the Knights of Charlotte Christian. Officials quickly pull everybody back in. No timeout. It's 2nd down and 10, just shy of midfield for Independence here at a tie ball game. Early second quarter. Into the pressure. He throws it right over the leap of Jacob Simmons. And it's a connection for Sadat Grant, but only a short gain to bring up 3rd down and long.
That's a proper read. You get pressure coming off that edge out of that secondary, you throw right into it. If you can get it complete and one guy misses, all of a sudden you got a chance for a big play. Excellent job on the throw, the catch, and then the tackle defensively.
They are able to get 5 yards out of that play, so 3rd down and 5. Line to make is the 42-yard line. Just 2 down linemen here for Charlotte Christian. They come with 4. Little sidesteps to the left. He throws downfield, on target, and knocked away. Henry Hulbert. What a defensive play.
I see you, young man, in the secondary. Little does an excellent job. Patient, hangs in there. This is a perfectly thrown football. Great defense there by Hulbert to knock that football away and prevent the touchdown.
Hulbert had an interception in the first game of the year for Charlotte Christian. His 2nd pass defense of the year. There is a flag that is declined. There was a flag hidden in the offensive backfield away from the play. Charlotte Christian will force 4th down and an Independence punt.
How about some of the defensive plays we've seen in this game? That one right there by Hulbert, probably at the top of that list, but been really good throughout this game.
Return man is Tate Estep. The punter is Copera. This is a wobbling spiral. Estep lets it bounce at the 15, and another beauty from Copera. Touched down at the 4-yard line by Jameer Martin. It was going out of bounds there anyway. And Lyric Copera, in 5 punts this season, has stuck all 5 inside the 20.
Copera is an absolute weapon with that right leg. Check this out, Phil. You want to talk about a punter who can get it done? Last season, 51 yards per punt for Lyric Copera. This kid knows exactly what he's doing. He's like a maestro out there with the football.
That number, from the records that we have, they can be a little off sometimes, would rank him 2nd nationally in punting average. That number from last season for Copera.
And he's quite adept in the kicking game, on kickoffs in particular, at recovering onside kicks.
So it's marked out officially at the 5-yard line. It's 1st and 10, under center and a handoff for Rule. Starts left, cuts it back right, has the sideline, climbs the ladder out near the 20. And he stepped out of bounds at the 17, says the linesman.
How about Rule? This seemed like this play was gone. It was dead in the backfield, but somehow he finds a way, get out of that backfield, get up the field out near the 20-yard line, and moves the chains.
Brings up 2nd down and 3.
Farrell in shotgun this time with Rule standing next to him. Take the handoff left. Farrell throwing back right deep and incomplete. Coverage from Bryce Lofton. Tate Estep pulled off his route, and Farrell threw it deep anyway.
Yeah, just not on the same page there, but you like the opportunity there. You've got to, at some point, stress this defense vertically and see how well they handle it. I like the decision there, just unable to get it connected.
Second down and 10. Farrell comes back under center. And he drops the snap. This is a broken play and dropped right away by Independence to K.O. Massey.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that Coach James talked about is they can't give away downs to this Independence team, particularly on the offensive side. You can't have those kinds of situations where you essentially waste a play and get nothing out of it.
So third down and 14. They went under center, shotgun, under center, now shotgun again. Motioned out of the backfield is Rule. Empty for Farrell. Throws it downfield, and it's incomplete. Wide of Estep, trying to test double coverage.
Tell you what, that's a good job by Independence recognizing who was eligible and who wasn't. They had 4 receivers to the left. You got to figure out who's covered up and can't release versus who can release there. You got to match up properly. Sometimes if you don't, that's where you get a shot play over your head.
And so the offensive outburst that we had the first drives of the game that we expected, that you would have seen on paper in studying for this one, has turned into a tense defensive battle. Farrell punting from his own goal line. This is a high wobbler, and it's taken by Crowder at the 50, and then he doesn't get much on the return. What's kind of remarkable to me, Reggie, is that most of these drives have started at midfield or better for both teams, and they seem to be stalling out.
Well, I think this tells you how good both of these defenses are.
Yeah.
The schemes, the coaching, the technique, the way they handle certain situations. And then we've seen some guys just go be athletes. Holbert on the one play, the deep ball where he got in there and knocked it away. So we've seen a little bit of everything, particularly from both of these defenses.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line of Charlotte Christian. Not the first time that Independence has started in Charlotte Christian territory today. Shotgun snap for Little. Hands it off. This is Jaden Jones. And getting a little push from his offensive line. Pulling tacklers with him to the 30-yard line.
This play is very interesting because there was a double blitz off the defensive right, the offense's left. Jones goes up the middle, so he runs away from the blitz and picks up big yardage.
Check that. That's Travis Hill, the backup running back. First drive that he gets today, and he takes another one for a gain of 11 and a first down, and right back into the red zone for Independence.
Hill's another good back. They've got 2 of them. He's got great vision as well, probably a little bit quicker than Jaden Jones in terms of his suddenness. Look out for this kid as well.
He's a stocky junior, similarly built, strong tree trunks. And a timeout by Charlotte Christian to stop the momentum. First and 10 at the 17-yard line for Independence.
Yeah, you look at the Independence running backs, and the first thing you realize is they get on the squat machine and they get on the leg press machine. These guys are well built in the lower half, do an excellent job churning the legs for additional yardage, particularly those running backs.
So first drive of the game, Charlotte Christian went right down. Brandon Hetwer caught a touchdown pass from Owen Farrell. Corresponding drive, Independence went right down. 23-yard touchdown run for Jaden Jones. And then in the 3 drives since, it has been stalemate football. Independence had a long touchdown pass waved off the board for a holding call. And this is about as much life as an offense has had in the time period since those opening scoring drives. And it is Independence back in the red zone. Again, at the 17-yard line of Charlotte Christian. And that was the second timeout used by Charlotte Christian here in the first half. And a handoff that is snuffed out. And Hill goes nowhere.
I tell you what, Little does a really good job. Look how long he holds that mesh point before he gives that football away to give time for that defender to truly clear the running back there.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. Little back to pass. Looking left. Snaps this off. Crowder in stride. Fighting for the goal line. Is he in?
He's down at the
he's
1.
Just short at the 1-yard line. Independent sideline started celebrating.
Great job by Little here. Just slides a little bit in the pocket. Good feel. Puts that ball on the line. And Crowder's unable to get across the goal line. Well-thrown football. And good job by Crowder and great courage. Understanding there are defenders in there makes that catch anyway.
He got a pretty good look down the line there. Looked to me like he was in. They'll line up under center for the first time today. Little, the quarterback. A little tush-push. Flag comes flying in. It is, at the moment, a touchdown for Independence.
Yeah, I think they're going to call this back. I think they're going to say either false start or a legal formation there.
Good for the touchdown. There is a question on the field.
That was a sideline warning on Independence.
That's an untimely moment for a sideline warning. That's about, I think, the first time in the history of my football watching career that I've seen a sideline warning with a team on the 1-yard line. The opponent's 1-yard line, that is. Backs him up to just outside the 6. It is 1st and goal. 3 receivers stacked to the far side of the field. And now another flag flies, a delay of game. What's this now? 5-6 penalties for Independence?
Yeah, and DJ McFadden Jr. is asking the official, why didn't they reset the play clock after the penalty call?
Now keep in mind, they've had 2 touchdowns wiped off the board because of penalties today. And now they're outside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal from the 11.
They've got numbers out to the right. If they get it out there quick, they've got 3 on 2.
Little's going to throw, steps up, throws it short middle, caught, and then popped right away. That's Reggie Hoax, the senior wide receiver, just his 3rd catch of the season. And it's 2nd down and goal at the 5-yard line.
Here comes Jaden Jones back in the game, number 2 in that backfield. Likely going to see him get the football or be used as a decoy in the play-action game.
Jack Gullickson had the tackle for Charlotte Christian. Little. Pressure being shown by L.J. Porter. Left side, here they come. It's a handoff. Jaden Jones, and he walks into the end zone for a touchdown. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. And Independence inches in front.
Jaden Jones did not come back in this ball game to not be involved in this play. Right away, you see 2 guys come off that edge. Great read there by Little. Just gives it to Jones, and Jones is able to, as they say, step over lines and get in the end zone.
On for the point after is Lyric Copera. He is 10 of 10 on extra point tries this season. Justin Little, the starting quarterback, is his holder. Snap in the hold, clean. The kick right down the middle.
That point after is good.
And it is a 14-7 Independence lead for the first time today. The Patriots up by a touchdown. You're watching the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. If you haven't been to a game at Charlotte Christian High School, this is one of the best settings in Charlotte area high school football. And you have kids from both sides, Independence fans, Charlotte Christian fans. I guess they were wrestling on the hill, rolling down the hill, have fun. Kickoff into the end zone for Copera. All but one kickoff this season has gone for a touchback from him. I mean, I remember going to high school football games as a kid. When my brother was in high school, he wasn't a football player. He was a band guy. But there was nothing like Friday night, the atmosphere of a high school game, especially at a school that caters to local children and the event.
I remember early in my high school career, I had a chance to play a high school game in a junior college football stadium, Ratcliffe Stadium out west. And I'm telling you something, it was pretty packed and it was a scene in there. I had to give him a show, Phil. I had to give him a show.
With former Penn State Nittany Lion, Reginald Walker Jr., I'm Phil Constantino. Glad to have you along. I can't say the crowds growing up on Long Island were quite as big as the crowds you had in front of the JUCO Stadium fans. But
hey, football, it's interesting, though. I love this atmosphere because I like to see, and this is a perfect example of it here at Charlotte Christian, the community is out to support high school football. And I think that's very important. I think that's helpful to the kids that are playing, but I think it helps give the kids coming behind them a reason to want to be a part of it when they get older as well.
Toss to the left side for Rule. He cuts it up the hash mark. And he gains a few to bring up third down and short. At the 27-yard line, it'll be third down and 3.
I'll tell you what, Phil, this game's been physical as well. Both teams defensively, they get downhill, and they absolutely put some shoulder pads on guys when they come downhill.
Farrell lining up under center. It feels like they found something getting Rule going downhill into this defense. He backs up. He's 7 yards off the ball. And let's see if he gets it. He does. 1 foot cut in the ground and falls forward to the 33.
This is my kind of football. You get these really good physical backs. Look at him deliver, right? He says, I'm going to deliver the blow. You're not going to hit me. I'm going to hit you and fall forward. I love the physicality. I love that these two backs, really 3 backs in this game, have been physical at the point of attack.
Motion man is Elliott Newcomb. It's a handoff again for Rule. The bell cow tonight. They keep on riding him. And a chunk taken off on first down. Gains about 4.
Here's what's amazing, Phil. We are seeing under center, multiple tight ends, downhill running. That has almost become extinct, particularly in high school football.
Second down and 6. We're hearing 4 minutes to go until halftime. Independence up 14-7 here in our game of the week. Toss right side. This is Rule again. Battering ram, lowers the shoulder to the 40. He is not afraid of contact, and when he puts that foot in the ground and he cuts, he gets upfield quickly.
Absolutely. You watch him here working to the right, and then that hard cut. Nice job. A little dead leg, if you will, but gets north and south to get physical at the – I love – Phil, that formation just got me – my energy is different now because of that formation.
So third down and 3. I mean, why not go right back to him?
Look at this form. Are you kidding me? This is football right here.
Multiple tight ends in the game. They fake the handoff to Rule. Now Farrell throwing, and it's batted down at the line. Samaje Robinson, the defensive end, off the edge, knocks it down.
That's a great job by Robinson. You see him on the left side of the screen there. Does a great job retracing his steps, and then if you can't get there, what are you taught? Get your hands up. I love the play call by Coach Chris James, and then what it came down to was the defender just made an excellent play to force a punt.
Like they were handing it off to Rule to try and bait Robinson inside, and he wasn't biting one bit.
I would not rule out a fake punt here based on where they are on the field.
4th and 3, just shy of midfield. It is their quarterback, Farrell, that's the punter, and he shanked this one off the side of his foot. He has had a great season punting. He's had a good start to this game, and this one is out near midfield. 3:15 to go until halftime, and a real chance here for Independence to go up by 2 scores.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity for Independence. If you're Charlotte Christian, you get another stop here. Even if you're not able to get points before the half, just getting a stop to take some of that momentum into the half will be key.
First down and 10, Independence.
Justin Little has Jaden Jones' backup with him in the backfield. Hands it off for the junior running back, Travis Hill. He's twisted out over midfield. Gain of 5 on first down, 3-minute mark of the second quarter.
Coach McFadden, Justin Little, and this offense will not be in a hurry here. They will make sure that they've got the right play called in every situation.
Short pass, slot, right side. It's caught and turning up the sideline. That's Wisdom Whipper Daniel, the transfer who came from Charlotte Christian a couple of years ago after his freshman season. First catch of the game for him, just his second catch of the season and his longest of the season for a first down.
And I like his decision there. Got to the sideline, got what he could, and got out of bounds to save time on this clock.
1st and 10 at the 35. They fake a short throw left. Now Little calls his own number, and he dives down past a couple of diving defenders to the 31-yard line. 4 more yards knocked off there by Little.
And that's all a read there by Little. When he sends the back out, if they adjust with the back, now he's got a light box to run the football. If they don't adjust out and they stay in a zone, then he's going to throw the football out there to the back in a screen type setup.
2nd down and 6. Trips on the left side. A long ride of Jaden Jones as running back. He does eventually give it. Jones knocks down 2 defenders. Doesn't go down. There's a tough run for you. And another first down.
Yeah, watch this. He just, first of all, to make that guy miss, and then watch him slither up north and south there, spin out of a tackle, picks up an extra 3.5 yards.
He's a talented player. He has an FBS offer from Liberty. He's starting to receive some SEC calls, and he's just a junior. 1st and 10. They give it to him again. And he's tripped up by his ankles after a gain of 1 to the 22-yard line. Approaching the final 90 seconds, Independence does have all 3 timeouts if they need to use it.
Gain of 1 brings up 2nd down and 9.
Ideally, they use this whole clock. They punch it in. They take a 2-score lead into the half, and they will be getting the football after halftime as well.
They've got a screen to the left if they want to go there. The numbers are in their favor.
2nd down and 9. Little, all kinds of time. Now the pocket closes. He tucks it, he runs, he gains 1 to the 21-yard line. And we're inside the final minute, 55 seconds showing. And finally, DJ McFadden will use his first timeout. Facing a 3rd and long.
Yeah, Little there doing an excellent job trying to see what's there, but Ryder Kilgannon does an excellent job closing that pocket down, wins his matchup off the edge, creates havoc, and now a 3rd and long situation with this Independence offense. They've got a lot of options here. I would think you've got Lyric Copera there, so there's a chance to kick the field goal here if you don't get enough on 3rd down. But I wouldn't be surprised. DJ McFadden, aggressive by nature, he may look at this as 2-down territory here. Or 4 down, if you, as it were, with this being 3rd down and then 4th down.
They need to make the 13-yard line of Charlotte Christian. It is 3rd down and 8 for Independence. Copera is 2 for 2 on field goal attempts this season, his long of 45 yards. This would be well within his range. He has a big leg. He's one of the best kickers in the area.
3rd down and 8,
Charlotte Christian hasn't scored since the first drive, so a field goal does make sense if they choose to go that route. Let's see what they call. Little, pressured, throws it on target. And to the 10-yard line, Brian Crowder, a first down. He squeezed that into Crowder between a few defenders.
Yeah, they caught him in a zone, You had one receiver going all the way across the formation out of the trips to the left, had one going across the formation, had one closer to the sideline to widen this defense out. Crowder goes past the sticks and just hooks up, sits down in that hole there, and Little delivers it on target on time.
Independence will use its second timeout. 48 seconds left in the second quarter. So clearly they were content with that play call, if incomplete, to kick the field goal. Now they're inside the 10, first and goal from the 9. One timeout left. 48 seconds is an eternity. They've got to punch the football in.
Well, the thing that's the most dangerous from a defensive standpoint is because Independence has that timeout left, now you have to be prepared for run or pass because they've got time to call a timeout here.
One timeout remaining for Independence. There is one for Charlotte Christian as well.
And if Independence goes fast enough, they could run the ball and potentially get 2 plays running the football as well.
2 running backs in the game for Independence. Haven't seen that at all really tonight. This is both Hill and Jones. Handoff for Jones. Hill's a blocker. Jones gets to the edge, and he may have lost a yard. And steps out of bounds at the 10.
The other thing I wondered there, Phil, with both of those backs in the backfield, the wide receivers with very wide splits, were they looking to maybe see if they can hit a slant to the inside because there's no flat defender, no outside linebacker, strong safety type that can widen out because you've got 2 backs in the backfield that you have to account for.
Little has Hill next to him. Tight end to the left. 5 have walked up to the line defensively for Charlotte Christian. Here comes L.J. Porter, too. Play action pass, and it's knocked away in the end zone. Crowder asking for a flag, and it's the safety Henry Hulbert, his second pass defense today.
Hulbert is absolutely perfectly timing this football right here. That is a great play at that safety position. That time using the right hand behind the receiver and coming across with the left hand to knock that ball away.
37 seconds left in the half. Independence up a touchdown. It's 3rd and goal at the 10-yard line of Charlotte Christian. 2 tight ends in the game now. Pistol snap. Fake the handoff. Rolling right. Here comes Kilgannon with pressure. And the throw is to no one. Out of bounds.
Good job by Little recognizing nothing there. Don't take a sack there. Throw the football away. You also don't have to waste that time out.
Heck of a stand by Charlotte Christian defensively.
Big time.
Seconds to go in the half. And now Clark senior kicker, Lyric Copera.
And with 30 seconds left, 4th down. Field goal attempt coming for Lyric Copera. He's yet to miss this season. This is a sharp angle to his right. And it will be from 27 yards. Low snap, bobbled, and it's blocked! Pounced on by Charlotte Christian. Now Independence is using a new long snapper this week. Their traditional long snapper you see sitting on the sideline on the bench in the Virginia Tech hat and the walking boot is Nick Reddish. He injured himself. He is out. And so a low snap from a reserve long snapper leads to a poor field goal attempt from Copera, and Copera's first miss of the season. Flea flicker. Why not? And it's E-Step with a leaping catch. Does he have it in bounds? Yes. Falling out of bounds near the 35. 18 seconds left to go.
Big time throw there. I want to go back to the blocked field goal for 1 second. The other thing with Copera you often see in high school, they kick off a tee. He was kicking off the ground there as well, but they never got the snap down to even get the hold set.
This would be a heroic effort if Charlotte Christian can squeeze some points out of this. A win already to not allow any points going into the half on the last drive. Farrell, tons of time, rolling out to the left. Is he setting up for the deep ball? Throws it back across the middle. Newcomb the catch. slithers past a man, and he's angling to the sideline, and he gets out of bounds with 5 seconds left in the half.
That's great awareness by Newcomb to understand where he is on the field. Farrell extending the play really well, but look at Newcomb, his awareness, gets back to the outside, gets as much as he can, and then gets out of bounds.
Now this would be out of the field goal range of their freshman kicker, Elijah Boyth, who we've been told would be good from about 40. This is well outside of that range. So with 5 seconds left, maybe a Hail Mary, maybe a hook and lateral. They've got their foot on the gas pedal.
If you want to go to the left, you could probably get it out there quickly and get another play out of this.
This will be the final play. Farrell running around. Flag comes flying in. He uncorks it, hit as he throws, short of the end zone, and it's smartly knocked down by Independence defensively. Time runs out on the quarter. There was a flag on the play. Trajan Garnes, the defensive back, who knocked it down. Penalty is declined, so that will do it for half number one. Now this one's living up to the billing. At halftime, Independence 14, Charlotte Christian 7. In front of a great crowd, it's the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Charlotte Christian opened the scoring on the first drive, and since a couple of touchdown runs for Jaden Jones of Independence. And at halftime, here in our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week, Independence 14, Charlotte Christian 7. Great crowd tonight here at Charlotte Christian High School. Next Friday night, 7 p.m. kickoff. Lake Norman and Marvin Ridge. That's next week's Game of the Week, BahakelSports.com. More to come here at halftime. Independence by a touchdown over Charlotte Christian. Halftime here in our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week between a couple of unbeatens on this young season. Independence, a 14-7 lead over Charlotte Christian. With Reginald Walker Jr., I'm Phil Constantino. Coming up tomorrow evening, right here in Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium. A couple of ranked teams, Tennessee and NC State, big college football matchup, and both teams have some CMS alums playing in the game.
Yeah, James Pierce Jr., not only CMS alums, same school. But James Pierce Jr., an excellent edge for Tennessee. And then Casey Concepcion, the reigning freshman of the year in the ACC, both out of Chambers High School. But check this out. Not only are we going to see a show from including a couple of local kids tomorrow night in Bank of America Stadium, but last night, one of the highlights of the night, there was a play in the NFL game, the Chiefs and the Ravens. Patrick Mahomes went to throw a pass that was tipped, and Mahomes caught it himself. Yeah. Who tipped that pass? Trenton Simpson, the linebacker out of Mallard Creek High School, who went on to Clemson, who now plays for the Baltimore Ravens. So the Charlotte area showing up and showing out at all levels of football.
That was a key play at the very end of the game last night that Kansas City hung on to win. So that game, Tennessee and NC State, tomorrow night, Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte in the college football spotlight once again. Halftime here, Independence, a 14-7 lead on Charlotte Christian. Independence enters this game, number 6 in the Charlotte Observer's Sweet 16 poll. Charlotte Christian comes in number 5 in the poll. At halftime, they're separated by one score, 14-7. We're back at Charlotte Christian High School with Reggie Walker. I'm Phil Constantino. Let's take a check back at some of the first half highlights, and it starts on the first drive of the game. This connection to his tight end, Brandon Hetwer. Touchdown pass for Owen Farrell.
We saw both teams on their first drive look really crisp offensively, mixing in some run and pass. You see Jaden Jones there with the nice finish of the run for a touchdown. And this offense looked like it was humming. And then this defense from Charlotte Christian settled in. But again, that back, there goes that man again getting back in the end zone.
Jaden Jones, a couple of touchdown runs. in the first half. Charlotte Christian with a little push offensively. That pass gets knocked down near midfield by Samaje Robinson on a key third down play. This pass to the end zone gets broken up by Henry Helbert, who had a couple of pass breakups. And then right before the end of the half, this bad snap, Lyrico Perez's kick is blocked. His first missed field goal of the season because of that bad snap. Independence also had 2 touchdowns come off the board because of flags on the play. They've shot themselves in the foot a bunch. They could be up a lot more, but instead, they are only up 14-7 at the break.
Yeah, and both of these defenses really settled in, made some plays. We saw there, both of them had opportunities and were able to get stops, even backed up in their own red zones in the latter part of that first half. So got to give credit, obviously, to the offenses putting points on the board, but these defenses, and then obviously, as you mentioned, in the special teams game, particularly for Charlotte Christian, has been effective in this game. You cannot, and I say this all the time, you may not win a game in special teams, but you can lose a game with issues in special teams. But these two teams, complete efforts on both sides, all 3 phases of the game so far tonight.
Touchdowns on the first drives for both teams, and then the defense, for the most part, both sides pretty much took over the rest of the way. So we're getting close to the start of half number 2 here at Charlotte Christian High School. Independence a 14-7 lead at halftime. This is the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. At halftime, Independence 14, Charlotte Christian 7 with Reginald Walker Jr. I'm Phil Constantino. It's the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Coming up next Friday night, Reg, Lake Norman and Marvin Ridge, 7 p.m. on BahakelSports.com.
Yeah, that'll be a good matchup. Lake Norman football team that had a really strong season last year, had a late injury during the regular season that really cost them and impacted their ability in the playoffs. So I suspect that Coach Oliphant and that football team will have a chance to have another good season.
That is next Friday night, September 13th, 7 p.m., the kickoff. Here tonight, We got a couple of programs that used to be powerhouses and rattle off state titles, Independence in the early 2000s, Charlotte Christian, 8 titles in 16 years. Under Jason Estep in recent years, they are both good this year, and they are both playing in a tight game here. Independence by 7 at halftime. Second half coming up in a moment. We are moments away from the start of half number 2, Bahakel Sports Game of the Week with Reginald Walker Jr. I'm Phil Constantino. Independence up 14-7 at halftime on Charlotte Christian. Charlotte Christian elected to receive the opening kickoff, so they will kick it off to Independence here, which is a large reason why, in my mind, that blocked field goal and defensive stand inside the 10-yard line for Charlotte Christian defensively to end the first half was absolutely huge.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime you can keep it, right, you got to keep it to the one possession if you can. They were able to do that, blocking the field goal there. So now an opportunity, it got a little momentum off of that. Now if you can get a quick 3 and out here, get the football back and go put some points on the board, you got big momentum.
Short chip of a kickoff from Henry Hulbert. He is the starting safety who's had a great game for Charlotte Christian. Brian Crowder trying to cross the field is unable to do so as the tackle is made by Ryder Kilgannon, one of their starting defensive linemen for Charlotte Christian.
Yeah, that's well done by Kilgannon. I mean, he had to shoot a gap, and if he misses that tackle, it's a huge return. But guess what? He didn't miss.
starting at their own 30-yard line for Independence. This is their second worst starting field position today. That's how good of field position they've been given. And quite frankly, if not for a ton of penalties, Independence would be leading by more than a touchdown. They outplayed Charlotte Christian at times in that first half and did have 2 touchdown plays that were taken off the board because of flags on those plays. So let's see what they can do to start half number 2 here. Little, the quarterback, fakes the handoff to Jones. Now Justin Little is looking deep, and it is on the money. Longest play from scrimmage today. Sadat Grant deep into Charlotte Christian territory.
Ladies and gentlemen, DJ McFadden Jr., Mr. I'm going to take a shot, and they hit it. Great throw by Little, puts that ball on the money for the big play.
And they sprint downfield to the line of scrimmage. First and goal from the 10. Jaden Jones, he has 2 touchdown rushes in the first half, and he fights his way. Gains a few on first down. Jaden Jones in the first half, Reggie. 8 carries for 71 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He's effective. He's absolutely effective. And that's what created the opportunity to take that shot down the field. They caught him with a single high safety. They run a post route, beat him deep, first down.
They actually still can get a first down. The chains are still up for Independence. Little calling his own number. Is cut down, trying to angle it off left tackle. Take another look.
Kilgannon has been really, really good coming off that edge. That's a great play. He comes off the edge, sees the run coming underneath, but bends flat down the line of scrimmage and makes that play in the backfield.
3rd down and 5 for Independence. They can gain a first down by maybe a foot or 2. That's about it. They're just inside the 6-yard line. Handoff for Jones, and he is spun down. How about Ryder Kilgannon again taking out 2 players?
Yeah, Kilgannon, but they also came with a little bit of an edge blitz there. That's number 20 coming off the edge, Jacob Simmons. He blows that play up. You like that? That blitz, that edge pressure was not about a passing situation. That was about shutting down the run game, and they were effective.
Yeah, Simmons took the 2 players, and then Kilgannon, after he knocked him offline, was able to sit him down. Here you have a field goal of about 27 yards and another bad snap. Copera able to pick it up. But how large does the injury to their long snapper loom? 2 consecutive bad snaps, and this time, field goal attempt not even attempted.
Yeah, and you mentioned this, right? The 2 bad snaps, plus the couple of touchdowns taken off the board in the first half because of penalties. This is an Independence team. They've got a 1-possession lead, but they are spinning their wheels with self-inflicted issues.
You know how it goes in high school football, Reg. Nick Reddish is a starting safety. He's not traditionally the size or the build of what you would expect of a long snapper. But it's hard to find someone on your roster who can just get it back there. And right now, Independence is struggling to get it back there. We did see a shaky punt long snap earlier in the game, too. And so this has taken 6 points off the board in the last few minutes of game time with a great kicker, Lyric Copera, that those 27-yard attempts are chip shots for. As the first down play is a handoff to Jamal Rule. There's a flag that flies on the far side of the field, sitting at the 20-yard line. Just over 2 minutes into the second half, and Independence has already wasted another field goal chance because of a bad snap.
Yeah, and that's where you start looking at some of these plays, particularly as you see the procedure penalty on, it's a legal formation actually on Charlotte Christian. The other piece of that starts to become, right, the conversation of, for Charlotte Christian, you're finding ways to just make Independence line up again to see if they will make a mistake. And so far, that's been the answer to the riddle.
Counter play for Jamal Rule, putting on all the moves, twisting his way out near the 25-yard line.
Ball down by a host of Patriots.
Jamal Rule in the first half, 14 carries for 65 yards. They rode him a lot. This is 2nd down and 6. They need the 30-yard line. Broken play. Now Farrell on the move, throws back across his body, and it's incomplete. Bryce Lofton, who got turned around, was able to knock it away from Tate Eastep.
Phil, I'll tell you, that may have been designed that way.
The offensive line didn't move.
Most of them didn't move, and it was basically quarterback receiver reacting there. You wonder if that was something called.
Well, we know that Chris James, the head coach who calls his own plays offensively for Charlotte Christian, he's got a reputation as a creative play caller. We've seen different formations. We've seen now multiple trick play attempts. Motion out of the backfield. Rule hit in stride on the swing route. And try to muscle his way just to get back to the line of scrimmage. This will bring up 4th down and medium. He gains a yard on 3rd down. That's it. 4th and 5 upcoming.
That's a great job by the secondary guys out there on that left side of the defense. They had tripped receivers out there. They knew they were going to have to win against those receivers to get through the blocks. They were able to be successful, use their speed defensively to rally to the football and make that play.
Back in punt formation, number 2, co-captain
Owen Farrell to punt. So he came into this game, Reggie. This is their starting quarterback. On 2 punts, averaging 43 yards on the 2 punts. They don't always come out so clean, but this one will be more than 43 yards. He shanked the last one. This low runner is going to roll all the way to the 21-yard line, where it's touchdown by Elliott Newcomb, and that will entirely flip the field. Flips the field by 54 yards.
Doesn't matter how good it is. The only thing that matters is the result. How effective is it?
Goes from the 25 to the opponent's 21. And Independence will take over for its 2nd drive of the half. Their head coach, DJ McFadden, told us, things I've learned through 2 games. We're a really good football team when we avoid lulls, when we play a full 48. They've had too many lulls tonight. And yet they still have a 7-point lead. Jaden Jones off the left side. High steps through a tackler and able to gain a couple.
Kilgannon is doing a great job off that edge, making sure that Jones is unable to turn that corner.
And I also thought, Reggie, Independence played in the most high-profile high school football game of the season so far. The opening weekend game against Myers Park at Bank of America Stadium. In that first half, they looked great. In the second half, they didn't look so great, and they eked out a narrow victory. As Little steps up, and he throws high and incomplete. Intended for Brian Crowder, leaping up.
Yeah, but
Little,
he was intended for, but he missed Reggie Hoax going down the field. He's wide open right there. Now you see him there at the logo near the right side of your screen. That is where I thought he was going to go with that football. He makes that throw and is able to complete it. It's likely a foot race, and I'm going to give Hoax a really good chance to win that foot race.
Timeout taken for an injured player. It appears that L.J. Porter is cramping, and so is Henry Hulbert. There are actually 2 players that are down on the field right now for Charlotte Christian getting stretched out. That very clearly looks like a cramp in the calf of Porter.
Pickle juice.
So we stop play. It's not that hot of a night. Temperatures today about 75 degrees with a slight autumn breeze. Perfect weather for football.
Yeah, but it's a little warmer down on that field, and that is not natural grass, so it's a little bit warmer even with the artificial turf. Early season, you're still talking September. Hydration is still a factor until we truly get into fall when the temperatures drop a little bit.
And it is both Hulbert and Porter who are getting their legs stretched out and looked at. So pretty common cramp treatment.
This is also 3rd and long. You've got 2 of your safeties that are going to step off of this football field. They have to be out for at least 1 play. This is a critical 3rd down. I suspect, well, I'm going to tell you right now, I thoroughly expect DJ McFadden Jr. and Justin Little to take a shot deep down the field with those safeties out of the game right now.
At the 22. Check that. Now they say the 23. 3rd down and 7. If you're a Charlotte Christian booster,
Matt Jones now in there at one of those safety spots. He's got to be on high alert for something deep.
Matt Jones did have a pick 6 in their first game against Cox Mill that he returned 62 yards. He plays linebacker, but he backs up here. He's traditionally a linebacker.
It's a false start.
And a false start is the call, yep. Flag flies on the near side of the field.
Illegal procedure, false start against the offense. That's a 5-yard.
So that backs up Independence outside the sticks.
Marks the ball back to the
We'll have to check with the official stat keepers, but we're getting close to 10 penalties now in the game for Independence. Just an abnormal amount, which explains some of the ebbs and flows that we talked about moments ago that they showed in their first game and that they have shown here tonight about when they can be a really good team and when they shoot themselves in the foot. They're now facing 3rd down and 12. Little brings a man in motion. That is Crowder all the way across the formation. He's looking right, sets up a screen for Jones, his running back. Had to leap to make the catch, turns upfield, lowers the shoulder, gets to the 30, and he appears to be just a yard short. L.J. Porter, who was cramping up a moments ago, had the tackle, and it will bring up 4th down and 1. 4th down and 1, decision time in their own territory.
It's interesting that Porter was back in the game. Generally, if play stops because of an injury to that player, they have to go for one play. Remember, there was a penalty, and not an official snap happened there. So maybe, but now you could say he's able to come back because play was stopped for Holbert's injury, not his.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because Holbert was off and L.J. Porter in. This will be a punt attempt from Copera. He's been an excellent punter this year, too, for that matter. And he gets away a pretty good one. This forces Tate Estep back over his right shoulder. He makes the catch, turns upfield, and he's got a little momentum to the right sideline near midfield. And Charlotte Christian will have prime field position, still trailing by just a touchdown when we come back. 6:47 to go in quarter number 3 in our game of the week. We're quickly back. It's 1st and 10 for Charlotte Christian. Independence 14, Charlotte Christian 7. First down handoff, Jamal Rule into the second level and to midfield on the dot. And a gain of 6 on first down for Rule.
Brought down by co-captain number 4, Dallas Brannon.
Rule has been really solid in this game, but what you like is they haven't gotten impatient with the running game. He hasn't broken a big one yet, but they still continue to go to him and use this running game to keep this game close.
Motion man behind the line is Brandon Hetwetter. He caught the touchdown earlier today, Hetwer. Jamal Rule running behind the block of Hetwer. And he lowers the shoulder for a first down. He gains about 6 yards out to the 44-yard line. Look at Hetwer, the tight end. He was at the bottom of the pile blocking. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. It's Rule running the other way. They just keep on handing it to Rule and pounding it right up the middle.
And again, this is not the biggest group on defense for Independence. Now maybe Charlotte Christian, maybe they feel like Rule has started to wear this defense down a little bit and see how effective he can be now late third quarter and into the fourth quarter.
2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3 on first down. Rule, they hand it to him once more. Had to step over a down lineman in the hole, and he gets it to the 35 within a yard of the first down marker. Gain of 6 for Rule. Just keeps on tacking him on. He's got to be getting close to 100 yards in this game as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's running hard, physical, finishing runs. He's been excellent.
He's used to long days. You know, we mentioned earlier he's a Salisbury transfer. He still lives up there. He drives 100 miles to and from the office every day. To and from school, I guess. He's a high school kid. Independent sideline is jumping up and down. I think they wanted a flag. The handoff goes to Rule anyway, who breaks a tackle, dives over the first down marker, and moves the chains once more. They just keep on handing it to Jamal Rule.
Yeah, they were looking, Independence was looking for a false start, They didn't get it, obviously, and now the chains will move as DJ McFadden Jr. is demonstrating to the referee what he feels like he saw on that sideline, but to no avail.
The stance he was making, was it someone in the backfield? Fell forward? Independence crowd is booing. It is first down and 10. There is an injured player on the far side of the field for Charlotte Christian at the 20-yard line. And so that's why play is stopped here. It appears to be another cramp that is being treated. Those fans from the Big I, they always travel well.
They do. They do. Both sets, right? Both of these teams, no matter where this game was going to be played, you knew it was going to be a pretty packed house. But to that point, it's here at Charlotte Christian, and the folks from the Big I over in Mint Hill, it's very community-oriented area, the school. They all support those kids. They're fired up to follow this team around town and cheer those guys on.
If you've been to a game at Independence High School in Mint Hill, you would have very well seen a crowd that even in those down years in between, after the early 2000s dynasty years, and then in the teens where they really bottomed out and was not a good program that DJ McFadden took over and has resurrected. They have never lost that tight-knit community. They have never lost their faith in their program and their love for the program. And now they're back and rolling, coming off of a couple of 11-win seasons.
And they still have never lost the crown of being the best tailgate environment for high school football in this city.
You know when you get an Independence game, it's going to be a good crowd, home or away.
And when you pull up at Independence over there on Patriot Drive, you can smell the barbecue.
Oh, big tackle in the backfield. Malachi Asalam.
Yeah, it's a great job by Malachi coming off, sees the run going away, and just attacks it after splitting the gap.
Don't let the number 22 fool you. He really is an undersized defensive tackle, and he makes the most of it. Inside the final 5 minutes here in quarter number 3, Independence up 14-7. Rule cuts back, then spins his way, and is wrestled down to the turf. At the 27-yard line, he gains 4 to make it 3rd down and 7 for Charlotte Christian.
That was a good cut by Rule. If he gets out of that one tackle right there, he's stepping over lines toward the end zone.
Charlotte Christian has not been that effective on 3rd down today, and it feels like it's their inability to put the ball in the air.
I'd like to see them get Farrell on the edge here and give him a little run-pass option on the outside.
It's a speed option. Pitches early to Rule. Rule popped just over the 25-yard line. He gets to the 24, still 3 yards short of a 1st down.
I think they're going for it here. That play call tells me they're likely going for it here.
A field goal attempt here would come from 40 yards, which would be right on the fringe of the territory, the maximum for freshman kicker Elijah Boyd.
Yeah, and I think that's Vincent Rosen, who sort of limped his way to the sideline. Not sure if he's cramping or what that is, but now he's also not on that field.
Elliott Newcomb was the player that was on the field before cramping. He was off, now he's back in the slot right. This is 4th and 3. They need to make the 21-yard line. A little confusion in the backfield. Farrell calls his own number, sprinting to the sideline, and he has it for the 1st down.
Remember we talked in the open about how dynamic he was with the football? Watch him turn on the speed there so he can turn the corner, outruns the defender to get to the sideline for a 1st down. He outran a corner there in Trey Garnes.
He also had 2 running backs run into each other in the backfield. So very clearly a broken play, and now a flag flies on the near side of the field. Tate Eastep, the wide receiver, number 7 in black, was chatting it up with Bryce Lofton, who then started clapping in Eastep's face. And the flag came long before the team addressed the line of scrimmage, so let's see what this is.
I thought initially with where the flag came from that it may be a situation where they broke the huddle with too many men or something, but that doesn't matter because it's going to be independent. Or no, it would matter because the ball, it's a first down. It remains Charlotte Christian football. So I was wondering if they broke the huddle with more than 11. I counted. They actually only had 10 on the field when I counted it. Not sure what this call is here.
Well, just outside of our pictures, head coach Chris James is incensed.
Delay a game on that first.
As you see, Vincent Rosen being tended to on the sideline by the athletic training staff. What was the call? It wasn't of the personal
delay game.
Okay, it wasn't of the personal foul variety, which was also potentially in question when you saw the two opposing players talking and the officials come together for a discussion. That's what led me to believe we could be going down that path. But I don't know exactly how you get a delay a game out of that.
Well, and you got it from the line judge. Now, you generally get a delay a game from the back judge or the referee,
front or back,
because they're looking at the play clock. So maybe there was an action there that was done by one of the players that created that, quote, delay of game.
Well, now they're outside the red zone. It's 1st and 15 at the 24-yard line. Farrell hands it off to Jamal Rule, lowers the shoulder, falls forward. I love this guy. He's an old-school football player, no gloves, and his pads always low. And when has he fallen backwards on a run tonight?
We haven't seen it. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. The late, great, my head coach, Joe Paterno, would be fired up to watch this.
2nd down and 8.
2nd down and 8. Farrell fakes the pass. Now he throws it short. It's tight end Hetwer in the backfield. Transfer from the community school of Davidson. He's a senior, 6'5", 210. Caught the touchdown on the opening drive of the game, and he loses yards here. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage by the nose of the football to bring up 3rd down and 8.
This is a huge 3rd down. I would think, again, this is 2-down territory or 4-down territory, if you will, for the Knights.
Hetwer is the motion man. Handoff for Rule. They're playing it like it's 4-down territory. He cuts it up. He's inside the 5. 1st down. 1st and goal upcoming after a tough run by Rule.
Malachi Asalam, number 22, he misses Rule in the backfield. He had the penetration, just didn't have enough speed to track Rule down and force a negative play.
It's a 14-yard gain, and there are more cramping concerns for Charlotte Christian. This is Tyler Walker, the starting right tackle. They'll have 1st and goal at the 4-yard line after an impressive run, another impressive run from Jamal Rule.
Got to start handing out vials of pickle juice or packets of mustard as well. That is said to be an elixir for issues with cramping.
I was once doing a college basketball game not too far from here over at Wingate University, and I watched their star player at the time squirting French's mustard into his mouth out of the bottle. Yellow mustard. It happens.
I'm going to give you another one. Last season, right here on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week, Ardrey Kell at Providence, several Providence players started going down early in that, midway through that game with cramping issues. Eventually, we saw someone must have gone to the concession stand and got the big mustard container. And these players, at one point, they were laying on the field, literally drinking the mustard. So, yes, that is an elixir as well.
It seems somewhat institutional because we've now seen 5-6 different players cramping on the Charlotte Christian sideline who have not been cramping on the Independent sideline. Last I checked, this game's being played in the same conditions by both teams. So 1st and goal at the 4. Speed option left. Farrell outruns his running back Rule, and he stretches the football to try and get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, let me solve the cramping issue for you there, too. Here's the other piece of it. This is game 3 for Independence in consecutive weeks. Remember, Charlotte Christian did not play a football game last week, so your game conditioning, you can do all the practicing you want. Game conditioning is a little bit different. A lot of these guys are playing both sides of the football as well.
Last week was a wacky week with the monsoon that came through Charlotte on a Friday night. Charlotte Christian's game got canceled. Independence moved to Saturday last minute. So they did play, but a day late a week ago. It is 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line. Rule off the left side into the end zone. And Charlotte Christian an extra point away from tying it.
Watch him just slap a defender away right there. He just swats away the long arm there of the big defensive end from Independence. Number 81, Zakai Milton, just slaps that arm away and steps over lines into the end zone.
Charlotte Christian late getting a blocker up front onto the field. The holder is Mitch Burris. Elijah Boyth to attempt the extra point. The snap rolls back to him, and he can barely get a kickoff. That's the third time in this game a bad snap on a field goal attempt or extra point. It's the first for Charlotte Christian. And that point could loom large. It stays 14-13.
Yeah, a lot of movement at the line of scrimmage by this Independence defense, but the low snap there messes up the timing, and anytime you have to reset as a kicker in an extra point or field goal situation, there's one thing you don't want to hear, and it's the double thud, and that's exactly what they heard.
It was a 5-yard rushing touchdown for Rule. The missed extra point. And it is a 14-13 game with 1:24 to go in the third quarter in a great environment here at Charlotte Christian High School.
You just knew this was going to be a good football game. And here we go, late stages of the third quarter, heading to the fourth. And we got a ball game separated by, and again, we've seen Independence have 2 issues on field goal attempts, and now Charlotte Christian with the issue on an extra point attempt. The difference in the game, truly.
There are the little things in football that I think fans overlook sometimes, that coaches certainly don't overlook. You don't realize you have a good long snapper until all of a sudden you don't. It's the same way you don't realize you have a good kicker or punter until all of a sudden you don't.
That's exactly right.
We actually had a talk about that with
both coaches
before the game.
Talked about special teams and the importance of it.
The little intricacies of the game that oftentimes go overlooked. This kickoff is another chip shot. It takes a bounce forward, so Crowder will tap it to himself and pick it up. Initially, it looked like he was prepared for it to roll out of bounds. He makes the most of it and pushes his way to the 30-yard line.
That's the interesting point there, Phil. You talked about potentially that ball going out of bounds. If that ball goes out of bounds, then all of a sudden the momentum comes out of this stadium, and then you're looking at Charlotte Christian saying they gave another situation away, gave something back with a special teams miscue.
Well, it's a 14-13 game. Time ticking down here in the third quarter. Independence High School. Back on the offensive end. Quarterback Justin Little. Running back Jaden Jones. Jones has 2 touchdowns today, and he has a hole. Big play on first down. Leaping his way over tacklers, diving out over the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 12 and a first down. And now first down.
And now Independence wants to bring their tempo offense into this. This is a Christian team that's had some cramping issues.
And it's cycling through players defensively. They already don't have a deep roster. We mentioned that in the first half. Jones lowers the shoulder, and he gains about 5 yards on first down. And you have another Charlotte Christian player slow to get up. His helmet came off during the play. That's Jack Gullickson.
And that save, there was an Independence offensive lineman that was down a little extra. But because of the injury to Charlotte Christian, he's able to get up and stay in the football game.
Second down and 5. Might be the final play of the third quarter. We'll see. Jaden Jones shimmies and falls forward to the 49.
Again on second down. Nice tackle by number 24. That's Ryder, Field Gannon.
Looks like Independence will try and squeeze in one more snap with their tempo. Subs off and in. Little looking over to the sideline. DJ McFadden, he's one of the great quarterbacks in Independence High School history.
Never lost a game as a starting quarterback.
He was a part of their 7 consecutive state title run, 109 game winning streak in the early 2000s. With multiple years as a starter. He's the play caller, and he will not call another play in the third quarter. We'll go to the fourth quarter. DJ McFadden's Independence Patriots have a 1-point lead. It's a good one in our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. To the fourth quarter we go at Charlotte Christian High School with Reginald Walker Jr. I'm Phil Constantino. 14-13, the Independence Patriots lead by 1 over the Charlotte Christian Knights. It is a bad snap and a blocked extra point that is the difference in this game right now. And it happened a few moments ago when Charlotte Christian thought it had a late third quarter touchdown to tie it.
Well, they had the touchdown.
They didn't have the extra point.
There you go.
So this game of the week, which is the most anticipated game in the greater Charlotte area this weekend. Charlotte Christian ranked number 5 in the Charlotte Observer Sweet 16. Independence High School ranked number 6, both unbeaten, though only 3 games combined between these two teams coming in. Meeting for the first time in who knows how long, per our records, maybe ever, two big brand name programs with a lot of history and tradition that are meeting here in week 3 in a massive high school football game. Great fan bases featured on Bahakel tonight. Design run to the left side for Justin Little, the Independent starting quarterback. On a third down play, this will bring it right to the first down marker, and it is just enough to move the chains for Independence.
So the issue before that play that took us so long to kind of get playback started, Gullickson, remember, had gotten dinged up on the previous play. Well, because they waited till the fourth quarter, he could not start the quarter in the game. He still had to sit out a play. So that was the issue, getting him back off the field.
Swarm of black helmets here. And it's reserve running back Travis Hill who gets popped on 3 sides.
That's just a great job. Penetration. This defensive front wins the battle, and they create the negative play.
Second down and 10 upcoming, just over midfield at the 47-yard line of Charlotte Christian. Independence program coming off of a pair of 11-win seasons. They are back, made the state semis last year. Justin Little, and he's brought down. A sack for Jacob Simmons. His second tonight, his 6th of the season already.
Yeah, he just continues to work. They bring the blitz off the left side as well in the form of L.J. Porter. He forces Little to step up in the pocket, and then again, there's Simmons to clean the play up.
Third down and 15 to go.
And they have not taken a shot deep down the field since Hobart left the game at the safety spot.
Little back to pass. All kinds of time. Here is the deep shot. In stride. And it's a touchdown. Sadat Grant. A ball on the money from Justin Little.
Phil, we just talked about it. The safety change back there. When was DJ McFadden Jr. going to take a shot? Right now, Sadat Grant runs underneath that one. Big-time touchdown.
Fifth touchdown pass of the season for Little. Second touchdown catch for Sadat Grant, the North Mech transfer, the leading receiver so far this season for Independence. It is 20-13, Independence by 7. And before they line up for a PAT, another injured Charlotte Christian player who appears to be cramping in the end zone.
You just knew at some point Independence was going to go back to the well and see if they could get something over the top. They finally do. Both safeties out of the play. It's a one-on-one situation, and Sadat Grant puts an exclamation point on a big-time throw. Watch Little in the pocket here, steps up, anticipates the throw, and absolutely a dime down the middle of the field to get his guy in the end zone.
I mean, that's not awful coverage by Caden Lawrence. Maybe he's beaten by a half step, but Little could not have thrown that ball any better. And it's Lawrence who's slow to get up in the end zone after allowing the touchdown. DJ McFadden, the Independence head coach, tells us if Little was 6'1 or 6'2 and not 5'10", people would be talking about him a lot differently.
Absolutely. Did you see that throw? That's a prime example.
Absolutely. And now the question is, can they make it an 8-point game? And as we get later into the fourth quarter here, for Charlotte Christian to need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it.
And you could just kind of feel that shot play coming from Independence. The moment was there. They had the stoppages of play to really dial that one up. And DJ McFadden Jr. does exactly that. And Little puts one on the money.
Been a long time since they've had a clean snap. This snap is low, and it's blocked. They just cannot get a clean snap of the football without their starting long snapper in the game, and that is Nick Reddish.
The other thing about that play, Phil, now that they blocked that extra point, it's 20-13. Now if you're Charlotte Christian, you've had your issue as well. Now a 2-point conversion could potentially win this football game 21-20 if it comes to that. So I would suspect if they score, I would not be surprised to see them go for 2. Chris James right there. You see him having those conversations. That might be something that's starting to creep into his mind right now.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When's the last time you've seen a football game that had 4 blocked kicks and that the importance of the long snapper was so apparent?
You don't see it often. You don't.
Well, 3 against Independence, 2 on field goal attempts and now 1 on an extra point attempt.
That's big right there, though, for Charlotte Christian. Keeps this as a one-possession game where a 2-point conversion would give you the lead instead of needing a 2-point conversion just to tie the ball game.
This has been a good football game. Quite frankly, at times it's been a little sloppy, but that has added to the drama that has made this such an incredible and truly gripping game of the week.
Rule and E-Step with a late switch and their return spots, seeing if maybe they can trick Lyric Copera into kicking it to who they want.
They had been kicking it short and left each time. This time they go high and deep. And it is Rule. And Rule takes it forward between the hashes to the 20. I should say on the Independent side, they've been trying to kick it through the end zone because they got one of the best kickers in the entire area who had been, up until tonight, perfect. Came into today 11 for 11 on kickoff attempts and touchbacks. And today he now has 2 and have fallen shy of the end zone.
And if you're Charlotte Christian, you have to feel like you're getting bonus downs because of that. That's an extra opportunity to create yardage for the football team and increase and improve your field position.
They start this drive their own 21-yard line, 10:09 to play in the game. They're only down 7 after that missed extra point. Handoff for Rule. Angles to the sideline, lowers the shoulder. Helmet spins off of an Independence tackler.
Puts his head down across the 20.
And that is
Dallas Brannon, the linebacker, number 4.
Yep, team's leading tackler this season, will have to come off the field for a play.
I would think you got to give the ball to Rule again. No Dallas Brannon in there at that linebacker spot. Run the football and take advantage of Brannon not being on the football field.
2nd down, 7 Knights.
Rule stands to the right of Farrell. Take the handoff. Now Farrell is throwing, and it's incomplete. Bryce Lofton tried to jump the route, and he tipped it incomplete from Tate Estep.
Bryce Lofton, he went for the pick. This is a great job. He's on the right-hand side of your screen. You'll see him show up right there. He jumped that route. He was looking for a pick.
Risky proposition. There was nobody behind Estep.
If that's a completion, that's a walk-in touchdown. Absolutely right by you there, Phil.
3rd down and 7. 9:59 to go. Handoff for Rule. Momentum pulling him forward. And he gets downhill, but only gains a couple to bring up 4th down and 4 yards.
Dallas Brannon on that tackle, back in the game. Immediate impact.
Bring up a 4th down.
I think you got to punt the football away here, right?
I think
your
so.
own end. 9:36 to go and counting.
Yeah, you can't afford to give him a short field here.
It's kind of late, but the punting unit does come on.
Still 20 on the play clock.
Offensive line was standing there looking at the sideline, and ultimately Chris James decides to boot it. Owen Farrell, a quarterback, who's also the punter, stands at the 13-yard line. Now he steps forward. Could it be a fake? Farrell comes in under center, barking out loudly the signals. Maybe trying to draw Independence offside. And the play clock is down to 0.
Flag on the play.
And the flag flies. No timeout from Charlotte Christian. They'll take the delay of game.
So we used to call that, back in my high school days, I'm going to go all the way back to high school, not going to give away the college playbook. Back in high school, we had that in our playbook. It was called Toronto. And our quarterback would run up there and give you every kind of cadence in the world. But you better not move unless you hear Toronto, and he knew not to say Toronto.
High snap for Farrell. He'll run it forward. He'll boot the low ball that he expects to bounce. The rugby-style kick, as they call it. And it will be touched down by Elliott Newcomb, starting wideout, who is also the long snapper at the 35-yard line. Let me ask you this, Reg. It just seems to me in a game like this, you're down 7. Why even give up the 5 yards for the delay of game call?
Well, it's a discipline thing, right? You're challenging. This is an Independence team, let's be honest.
You know you're not going to use the timeout if you're Charlotte Christian.
Right.
You can't afford to use a timeout when you might need it later.
But Independence has shown at times in this game to be a little bit undisciplined in the way of penalties in big spots. That was an example. See if you could draw them off sides.
Okay. Well, Independence this time keeps their discipline. And there's 8:47 to go. They have the football. And a handoff for Jaden Jones, who falls sideways and forward. Decent chunk on 1st down.
I think if DJ McFadden Jr. has it his way, this is going to be about a 5-minute drive that is going to feature heavily number 2 getting the football.
Gain of 6 to bring up 2nd down and 4. They're at the 41-yard line. And Independence at times will go hurry up. At times they'll slow it down. Right now, standing around looking at the play call on the sideline. This is about as slow as the Patriots have moved all day.
Yeah, about 18 seconds left on the play clock, so plenty of time here. And now they'll go ahead and get to the line of scrimmage and execute.
And they wait inside of 10 to finally snap it. Handoff for Jones, and Charlotte Christian defensively teeing off. They knew it was coming, and he only gains a yard on the play.
Yeah, now they're in a 3rd and short situation. It's a good job by Jones to fight through that tackle there and just fall forward and get something positive to set up a 3rd and very short here with about 7:35 to go.
Big momentum play in this football game. Independence up a touchdown, 20-13. Right now, the difference in the game is that bomb of a deep ball that Justin Little connected to Sadat Grant on Independence's last drive to score the touchdown.
Still 25 on the play clock. Plenty of time here.
They got to the line much more quickly this time. And players in motion, shifting around. Game clock is running. Handoff for Jones, left side. Can he turn the corner? He does, just enough to move the sticks.
Jones, number 2, on this third down sprint to the sideline. He's room for a first down.
It's a great job by Jones getting to the edge. The only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds. I would have liked him, if I were Independence, I would have wanted him to stay in bounds. But again, the clock starts to run again after they reset the chains.
Big hole up the middle for Jones.
See ya.
And he's off to the races. Down the sideline. And he slows down and spins himself out at the 12-yard line. Eventually tracked down by L.J. Porter. But a huge hole for Jones to run through.
Yeah, it's a great job by Jones. Speed up the middle and then the cut outside. Then I would tell him here, just slide. Stay in bounds. Just get down. 6:44 to go in this fourth quarter.
1st and 10, 12-yard line of Charlotte Christian. Independence looking for a 2-touchdown lead that they haven't held at any point tonight, though they've had their chances. Because he went out of bounds. Clock stopped. Snap back, Little hands it off. And a gain of 2 to the 10-yard line for Hill.
Keep in mind here, Independence has to be aggressive. Their issues with the field goal kicking is a factor, so they cannot play for a field goal here. Have to look to try to punch it into the end zone.
7310, a white Ford Explorer. If you own such a car, please report
2nd down and 8.
next to the press box.
It wouldn't put the game on ice, but it would certainly come close as they draw Charlotte Christian off sides. Defensive lineman Andrew Henley jumped off and pushed the center.
Offside, the indication against
And walk it up to the 5-yard line for Independence.
2nd down and 3.
2nd down and 3. Hill runs into a brick wall. It was L.J. Porter. He's listed as their safety, Reg, but he really just kind of flies all over the field and has been very active tonight.
Yeah, if you actually look up a picture of L.J. Porter and you want to see the definition of him, it just says football player because he can play anywhere and he's going to make plays wherever he's lined up.
3rd down and 3. Nearing 5.5 to go. Looking for the 2-touchdown lead, Independence. Little hands it. Hill has a hole. Touchdown. That's Jaden Jones. His 3rd touchdown of the game.
Great job by Jones. Little with the give. Jones right up the middle into the end zone. Big touchdown here late to extend that lead.
This star running back now has 7 touchdowns in 3 games this season. The lead is 26-13, doubling up Charlotte Christian. Extra point attempt. They have not had a clean snap since early in the game. 3 bad snaps in a row. Finally a clean snap. The extra point is good, and it is 27-13 Independence. 5 minutes, 23 seconds to go. Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Inside of 5.5 minutes to go, and Independence for the first time today has a 2-score lead. Jaden Jones rushes it in for the third time. And Independence on top 27-13 here in our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Glad to have you along tonight on BahakelSports.com. With Reggie Walker, I'm Phil Constantino. Return here from Jamal Rule. Stiff arms a defender, gets to the 20-yard line and scurries out of bounds. Well, Charlotte Christian's problem now is they're down 2 scores. They got to score 2 touchdowns, Reg. And this just getting the feel for this offense, looking at them on paper coming in, watching them here today. They're a run-heavy team, and they're not exactly built to come from behind.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But the one thing you can always say if you're Coach Chris James is, I got 2. Not 2 people, number 2. And he can do some things that make him a little bit different than a lot of other people.
Well, the game is in his hands right now. Owen Farrell, the starting quarterback for Charlotte Christian High School.
LJ Porter in there at fullback right now.
They hand it off for Rule. Has a hole off left tackle. Gets to the 25. It's a gain of 5. He doesn't go down. Tough runner. Stood up by 3 Independence defensive players.
And this is where if you're those guys, you can't get frustrated that he didn't go down. Do not commit a cheap penalty in this situation and give them an automatic first down, meaning giving a first down to the Knights of Charlotte Christian.
Well, head coach Chris James, he told us the other day, his quarterback Owen Farrell, he believes has Patrick Mahomes-esque type instincts. He thinks it comes from his baseball career. If he's anything like that, then he'll give us a gem right now. Throws ball down the left sideline, looking back shoulder for E-step, and it's knocked incomplete.
That ball was well thrown in E-step. Takes a minute to get up. You wonder if he's struggling a little bit with maybe some cramping again, but that is a well thrown football, just great coverage.
John Snipes, the defensive back.
This is a defense, Phil. Look, they had to lean into this defense heavily at the end of the football game. Trey Garnes ended up getting the game-clinching interception in the end zone against Myers Park in the first game of the season.
3rd down and 5. A roll out to the right for Farrell. Late throw. Fires it in short. Threw a fastball from maybe 3 yards away, and it's incomplete to bring up 4th down and 5. And Charlotte Christian has no other option here. They're going to have to go for it.
And to finish that point on Independence, even late last season, in the regional semifinal, if you will, at Butler, this is an Independence team that leaned into their defense down the stretch to hold off that Butler team that was hard charging.
And they've done a really good job tonight of keeping Owen Farrell kind of bottled up. We know he has the ability as a multi-purpose threat, runner and thrower. They set up the screen for Rule, and that is blown up right away. Deshaun Wilkes, the senior defensive end, with a 4th down stop that should seal a victory.
Wilkes is the defensive end at the top of the screen. He reads it right away. Once he sees that they're letting him release, he absolutely detonates and gets up the field and blows that screen up before it can get started.
1st and 10 for Independence. 20-yard line. They take over in the red zone of Charlotte Christian. And maybe they'll punch one in for an exclamation point. Little hands for Hill. Gain of 5 on 1st down. Clock ticks down toward 4 minutes to go of what is taking shape of an Independence victory. Defensively, we just highlighted it. They really held Owen Farrell in check tonight. They bent at times, but they did not break. And offensively, here in the second half, they've started to come to life. They've survived a lot of unforced errors, penalties, bad snaps, all of that. And they have a 2-touchdown lead at the moment, inside of 4 to go.
And
not a clean
plus
win.
15-yard line as well.
It's not going to be a clean win.
The coaches love those, though. The non-clean wins, they still got something to coach, but they feel good because they got the win. DJ McFadden Jr., he's all over that.
Handoff for Hill. Turns the corner and into the end zone. An emphatic finish to this football game for the Big Eye.
Just a great job. They just work it. Again, Little does a great job staying at the mesh point as long as possible, and then Hill steps over lines. And this score is not going to be indicative of how closely contested and how hotly contested this ball game was for about 3 quarters and some change.
It's a 15-yard rushing touchdown for Travis Hill. An attempted extra point here for Lyric Copera to make it a 21-point lead, and he bangs it through.
It's good.
A little more than 3.5 to play, and this one is taken form.
And I think Independence may have gotten the issues that they had in terms of their kicking game. Maybe they got that figured out. We've seen the last couple of possessions they've been able to properly execute the extra point.
Well, it really is a great start to the season. They had the 24-21 victory over Myers Park. They had a great first half, held on in the second half to win it at Bank of America Stadium in Week 1. Pounded Hickory Ridge last Saturday after the game was postponed due to weather. One more look at that touchdown run, the burst of speed from Hill. Now they'll take down Charlotte Christian on the road. They go to South Meck next Friday night before a bye week in Week 5. You sense a theme there, Reggie. They haven't played a home game yet. It's the way the schedule fell. 1 neutral, 6 road games, and just 3 home games. But it is more than likely that when they finally have a home game against Charlotte Catholic on September 27th, that they will be 4-0 at the time.
Not only that, this is a football team that is not afraid of the road. Remember, that playoff run last season was all road games.
And Copera pounds this one through the end zone.
Yeah, this is an Independence team. Let's think about it. They were on the road. They won at Watauga. They won at Lake Norman. They won at Butler. And it finally came to an end on the road at Weddington, the eventual state champion.
Lost that game 34-14. They finished last year 11-4. With the victory tonight, they'll move to 30-10 under head coach DJ McFadden in his 4th year. So he's won 75% of his games in 4 years, leading his alma mater. Again, taking a program that at the time of the pandemic was really in rough shape and had really fallen a long, long way. Entirely resurrected it. Has not shied away at all from talking about their goals and the plans at Independence High School to get back to state prominence and national prominence. Catch there by E-Step. 3 minutes, 20 seconds counting down to go.
And let's be clear with a couple of things here. This is an Independence team that is expected to make some noise in the playoffs. And I don't think that either of us, as we do this game, is questioning that. But also on the other side of things, as you see Hetworth get the catch there, this is a Charlotte Christian team that is expected to march deep into the playoffs as well. From a private school standpoint, I think when you look at it, you start thinking about teams at their level. And private school, obviously, locally, you're talking about Charlotte Christian and Providence Day School. But then outside of that, some of the other teams you have to think about. Rabun Gap School down in Nacoochee, Georgia, that's another program that you got to keep an eye on as well.
First down and 10. Farrell rolling left, and he'll just step out of bounds.
So I think this type of game, really for both of these teams, is going to bode well for them when you get into November and towards December as well.
Charlotte Christian, it's Ardrey Kell next Friday night. Another public school game before they then turn the calendar to the privates the rest of the way. And they do have Rabun Gap September 27th, a few weeks from now.
Please meet Coach Brown just outside the concession stand.
Farrell dumps it off short. Hetwer. And he is tackled. Tackle was made by Ricky Myers Jr. Plays both ways at times for Independence. Final 2.5 minutes. 3rd down and 5 here. Farrell Out of the backfield, wanted Rule, but Rule never turned around and it whistled right by him. Coverage by John Snipes.
Brings up 4th down and 5.
You mentioned that game on September 27th for Charlotte Christian. That trip down to Raven Gap is a long trip. A lot of back roads. That's a tough trip. Got to be prepared to go down there.
4th down and 5. Farrell pumps once, throws across the middle, and it's incomplete. Is it intercepted? No. Snipes thought he had a pick, but I think it pretty clearly hit the turf.
Farrell's 4th down pass is intercepted.
Now, if you're Independence, you see there, he trapped that ball. I think we probably had a good enough vantage point without the benefit of the cameras from where we are at our location. Absolutely trapped that football. It's incomplete.
2 minutes, 21 seconds to go in the contest.
So 2:20 to play.
I'd like to remind everyone, Charlotte
And Independence will, at this point, be able to run out the clock, maybe even kneel out the clock. One 1st down very quickly would certainly allow them to kneel out the clock.
Justin Little is done for the night.
I've got the reserves in. This is a handoff for Christian Lyles, 10th grade running back. And he gains 7 on 1st down.
On the carry, number 25.
Elon Lipford, 10th grade quarterback, is in right now for Independence. 2nd down and 3 upcoming as they put this game on ice.
2nd down and 3.
This is an important win for this Independence football team. Coming here against a really good Charlotte Christian football team and to come out of here with a win, that says a lot about how much talent and how well this football team is playing right now.
Hill carries it for a 1st down inside the 20. About 90 seconds left to go. And that should seal it here for Independence. You have 2 good teams, 2 coaches, fairly early in their tenures back at their alma maters. A lot of respect between the 2 of them. And for 3.5 quarters tonight, we had a really good football game before Independence finally pulled away. And so Independence will move to 3-0. Charlotte Christian will fall to 1-1. Final minute 15. Doesn't look like they're going to take a knee, but probably just run out the clock, Independence. Hill shimmy shakes in the backfield and runs into traffic and gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's all.
I think now you'll see the kneel downs here.
As folks start to file out of the stadium here at Charlotte Christian. Great venue, great atmosphere tonight. Saw the kids rolling down the hill. You see the ropes in the back of the picture? That section off the field. They actually allow the kids to run around on the track, on the perimeter of the playing surface here. Shotgun snap and a knee. So it really adds to the environment. One of the great high school football environments in the area. And that will be the final snap. The handshakes have begun, and it will be a 34-13 victory for Independence High School over Charlotte Christian. Independence moves to 3-0. There you see head coach DJ McFadden, the high fives for his players. And his team is 3-0, and they seem like they are trending back toward another state playoff run. Still early in the season, but we'll see. Again, the final score here tonight in our Game of the Week, Independence 34, Charlotte Christian 13. For Reggie Walker, I'm Phil Constantino, our entire crew. You've been watching the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.